Hey everyone, welcome to the BabgVerse channel. So, I'm scrolling through different product launches last weekend as I normally do to get prepared for the different topics I want to touch. And I've stumbled across this AI app builder called Lovable. They've got this chatbot page that looks completely ungated. You type in your app idea, get invested in seeing what they'll build, hit enter, and boom, sign up pop-up appears. I call this the ungated illusion. And it's straight up genius when you really think about it, especially for conversions. We're talking a 52% increase compared to traditional sign-up forms. I've been testing this on my Curation Lounge platform and the results are honestly crazy. But here's the thing. This is just one of the many ways AI is completely transforming UX design in 2025. Today, I'm going to break down the top 5 AI implementations that are just cool tech flexes but actually drive real conversions. Before we dive in, if you're getting value out of these actionable AI breakdowns, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm this is good stuff, and honestly, it makes my day. And if you're new here, hit subscribe right now because we're dropping these insider tech strategies every single week, jam-packed. All right, let's talk more about this ungated illusion pattern because it's absolute fire. Here's the basic psychology. When users feel like they can immediately start using your product without signing up, they get invested. They put effort into that first interaction. Then when you ask for sign up after they've already experienced value, conversion rates skyrocket. The data backs this up big time. The pattern increases sign up rates by 45 to 65% compared to traditional forms. And get this, 76% of users report feeling less resistant to signing up after engaging with content first. That's huge. Here's how to implement it. First, identify a core action in your product that delivers immediate value. For AI products, this is often a query, prompt, or some simple interaction. Second, design a prominent interface element that invites this action. Make it look like the main function of your page. Third, and this is key, only after the user has invested in that action, present a streamlined sign-up that emphasizes continuing. Use language like to see your results or to continue. Where this gets really powerful is when you combine it with AI. Your AI can actually analyze what the user entered and personalize the sign-up message. Maybe they asked about financial data. Your sign-up pop-up mentions financial insights specifically. I've noticed SaaS adoption of this pattern jump from 8% last year to 23% today. Companies that aren't using this literally are leaving money on the table. One warning though. 62% of companies report challenges with maintaining brand trust. If users feel tricked, that game's over. That transition needs to feel natural, not like a bait and switch. Here's a quick success story. When I implement this on Curation Lounge, we saw immediate sign-up increases of 48% and even better. Those users showed 28% higher retention after 30 days. They're just more qualified from the start. By the way, if you're struggling with implementation, we can help. At BabgVerse, we build custom solutions for exactly these kind of UX challenges. Just head to BabgVerse.com and tell us which of these techniques you want to implement. Our team will craft a tailored strategic specifically for your business needs. I'll leave a link down below for you guys to check it out. Let's move to number 2, conversational interfaces with progressive disclosure. This is where AI chatbots gradually request information while providing value each step of the conversation. It's like the difference between an awkward first date who immediately asks for your life story versus someone who makes you feel amazing while naturally learning about you. The stats here are wild. Websites using AI chatbots see an average 35% increase in conversion rates. Why? Because form fatigue is real, people. Think about traditional forms. They're basically digital paperwork, right? Boring, intimidating walls of fields, asking for everything up front. Progressive disclosure flips this completely. Here's what makes this approach magical. Instead of asking for 10 fields up front, your AI assistant might start with, "Hey there, what brought you here today?" Then based on that response, it provides immediate value while collecting. A banking assistant might say, "I noticed you're interested in saving for a house. Based on typical home prices in major cities, you need about $60,000 for a down payment. Would you like me to analyze your current spending to see how we could help you save faster?" See what happened there? Value first, then a natural reason to collect more information. What's fascinating about this approach is that users will often volunteer more information than they would have on a form because it feels like a helpful conversation rather than data collection. Here's a tip for implementing this. Start with 2 to 3 high-value questions that show immediate intelligence before asking for any personal information. Each response should deliver genuine value, not just acknowledge their input. The key psychological principle: users hate forms but love helpful conversations. When your AI demonstrates value before asking for commitment, trust skyrockets. And hey, if you're thinking, this sounds amazing, but I have no idea how to build a conversational interface, again, this is where BabgVerse comes in handy. Check us out. We can help with implementation. Number 3 is where things get seriously next level: adaptive user interfaces. Imagine if your website or app literally rearranged itself based on how each individual user interacts with it. Not just A/B testing. I'm talking real-time personalized UX that evolves during a single session. This is the difference between a store where everything stays in the same place for everyone versus a store that magically reorganizes to put exactly what you need right in front of you. The tech behind this is fascinating. AI models track user behavior patterns, where they hover, what they click, how long they spend on different elements, and then dynamically adjust the interface to match their apparent needs and preferences. The numbers: AI-enhanced interfaces increase time on site by a massive 40%, and personalized experiences lead to 32% higher visit rates. Here's how companies are implementing this. E-commerce sites are rearranging category presentations based on browse patterns. If you keep checking men's shoes, suddenly shoe categories become more prominent across the site. Learning platforms adjust difficulty levels in real time. Struggling with the concept? The AI detects and automatically provides more examples of simplified language. The coolest example I've seen is from Spotify. Their home interface completely transformed based on the listening patterns. Heavy podcast listeners who occasionally check their music on Fridays, your Friday interface will emphasize new releases while keeping podcasts accessible. Here's some tips on how to implement this. Start small with just 2 to 3 elements that adapt based on clear signals. Maybe your Get Started button changes message based on what section the user spent the most time browsing. The psychological magic here is that users feel understood without having to explicitly state their preferences. It creates an almost subconscious feeling of, this product gets me. One challenge here: you need substantial user data to train these models effectively. But even starting with basic adaptations can dramatically improve engagement metrics. Again, quick shout out. If this video is helping you, drop a like. It seriously helps the channel, and I want to make sure these actionable strategies reach everyone who can benefit. Number 4, predictive input enhancement. This is where AI anticipates what users want to input before they even finish typing or selecting options. It's like having a friend who finishes your sentence, but in a helpful way, not that annoying way. The tech has evolved way beyond simple autocomplete. Today's predictive systems analyze previous answers, typical patterns, and even external data to make surprisingly accurate predictions about what users intend to enter. The stats: AI predictive search features increase conversion rates by 28% on average, and smart form filing reduces form abandonment by a massive 37%. That's money left on the table if you're not implementing this. Here's how to use it effectively. Form fields that predict answers based on previous information. The system might pre-fill city and state, or even suggest nearby businesses when you start typing a company name. Search interfaces that refine results as users type, but also predict entire search phrases based on current trends in their user history. My favorite implementation is Google's flight search that doesn't just autocomplete destinations, but automatically suggests entire trips based on your search patterns and current travel trends. The psychology here is fascinating. By predicting what users want, you're not just saving them time, you're creating the perception that your product understands them on a deeper level. A tip for implementation: start with high friction input fields where users commonly abandon. Predictive assistance will have the biggest immediate impact on completion rates. Here's a warning though. Predictive systems need to elegantly handle being wrong. Bad predictions that persist are worse than no predictions at all. Here's our 5th tip and final: emotional intelligence and feedback loops. This is cutting edge stuff that's completely changing how we think about user experience. We're talking about AI systems that detect frustration, confusion, or delight and respond accordingly. Here's how it works. AI analyzes signals like mouse movements, typical patterns, time spent on page, and even facial expressions with permission here to gauge emotional states. then adapts the experience in real time. An example of this, support interfaces that detect frustration patterns, like repeated clicking or erratic cursor movements, can automatically offer additional help or even escalate to human support before the user gets completely annoyed and leaves. This is how we fix those rage clicks. Onboarding flows might detect when users appear stuck or confused and offer contextual guidance or simplify the next steps. This technology is showing incredible results, with some implementations reducing abandonment by up to 40% in complex processes like insurance applications or technical product setup. The psychology is simple but powerful. Users feel emotional, understood, form stronger connections with digital products. Just like human relationships, acknowledging frustration before it boils over or celebrating success creates emotional bonding. Here's a tip on how to implement this. Start by identifying your highest friction points where users typically drop off. Those emotional hotspots are perfect for your first emotion-aware interventions. My favorite example is from a banking app that detected frustration signals during account setup and dynamically simplified the process while offering an instant chat option. Their completion rates jumped by 58%. At BabgVerse, we develop custom emotional intelligence systems for clients across e-commerce, SaaS, and fintech. We can help you identify where users are getting stuck and implement responsive solutions that dramatically improve completion rates. So, to wrap this up, these 5 AI implementations, the Ungated illusion, conversational interfaces with progressive disclosure, adaptive user interfaces, predictive input enhancement, and emotional intelligence and feedback loops aren't just cool tech. They're proven conversion boosters that create experiences users actually love. The companies that implement these thoroughly are seeing ridiculous gains, not just in conversion metrics, but in customer satisfaction and loyalty. Which of these 5 are you most excited to implement next? Drop a comment below, and if you've seen other AI UX patterns that are driving results, share those too. If you got value from this breakdown, do me a favor. Again, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for tapping in.